We have this from the Post Millennial. DC squatter takes over woman's property after refusing to check out of an Airbnb, and the police let them stay. So this is a quote from her. She said, "I never gave her any tenancy." This is Roshan Douglas. "I never gave her a lease." A homeowner in Washington, D.C. is now fighting to have her home back after a squatter took over the property she rented as an Airbnb for 32 days, but has yet to leave after months. The alleged squatter, Shadija Romero, has been living in the home since February, and police have said that there is nothing they can do. The squatter allegedly tried to push the homeowner off a ladder. Wow. Okay. Can you not get arrested for that?
It's ridiculous that we're in this type of society, dude. Like, come on, man. Like, if you own something and you have documents that you own something, what is this squatters' rights bullshit? Like, why is that even a thing?
It literally shouldn't exist. Like,
what is their kayfabe reason for squatters' rights being a thing? If a squatter's living in an abandoned crack den or some shit, like, it clearly that doesn't fit the bill.
Well, even then, if I have a property that, you know, let's say I get to the point where I'm wealthy enough, like some of these other commentators, and I decide to get a second property. If while I'm at my second property, someone breaks into my first property, stays there while I'm gone for a couple months, and I come back, they just own the property now?
It's nuts. How is that even a thing?
I don't know. And how are you as a human being, a cop? The cops are humans. Everyone should know that. I hope. How are you gonna show up to mediate a situation, and you're like, okay, this person owns the property, this person doesn't own the property, has no tenancy here, only stayed here as like a hotel through Airbnb, and is decided that she's just not going to leave or pay rent or anything. How are you as a cop like, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You can stay.
The idea was to give renters rights against slumlords, but like that's like fucking third world country type shit. Like that doesn't happen here, and the only reason why they would pass something like that is to make us more like a third world country.
Yeah.
Like, listen, you might get nickeled and dimed by a slumlord, quote unquote, or a landlord, but that's usually the length of it. Usually when you start to really get nickel and dimed by landlords is when the government continues to put in these silly things like this. So then they got to come up with more things to protect themselves against wonderful government like regulations or exceptions or stupid shit. You know, you can always rely on the government. You know, it's always these insignificant people that have no life experience that all of a sudden want to dictate to people in their life experience on how to do something.
I mean, it's
property owners should just be able to remove them. And what, you know, what's funny is because they can't do nothing about it. But if she removes her from there, the cops are going to arrest her. Insane.
Yep. And we've seen it before.
Insane.
We have absolutely seen it before. People try to squat on someone's property. The owner returns, sees the person trying to squat on their property, physically removes them, and the owner gets arrested, and the squatter gets to stay.
This is what happens with left-wing extremism. This is how they win. Ever since, more so, it's happened before, but ever since it started with the Mike Brown situation in Ferguson, Missouri, and now it came to a capsize with the George Floyd thing. The cops do not want to do anything. They won't do anything because if they do something and they do something wrong, they will be drugged through the mud and they'll be sent to jail for 25 years like Derek Chauvin.
Yep. Even though I've said it before, Derek Chauvin, I don't believe he really did anything wrong.
He did what he was trained.
He did what he was trained to do. There was people that testified during his trial that is exactly what they're trained to do. So he followed training.
And despite that, like, you can make an argument that logically, you know, the guy has his handcuffs behind his back, he's done, but that doesn't matter. It's what he was trained to do. And this is about having a reasonable doubt. It's not about assuming what he should have done better. It's about, is there a reasonable doubt that he fucking murdered him? The most they could have done was manslaughter. That's the fucking most they could have done.
I think they should have sued the police department, like a civil lawsuit against the police department to force them to change their practices. But I don't think Derek Chauvin should have been charged.
Right, but what happened is like I said, left wing extremism won, and that was the metaphoric crescendo of it all. Was these jurors knew that there was no reasonable doubt that he murdered him, and everything that they brought up showed that he did what he was trained to do. And they still put his ass in jail because they didn't give a fuck. They didn't want to deal with the riots. So when you ask how do you win, I mean, it's very clear every time the left wing, every time these agitators do something that always seems to work in their favor. So I don't know what that means.
I mean,
You can draw your own
I
conclusions, I guess.
covered a story yesterday. I think I covered it before you joined in the stream. In Portland, Oregon, they just acquitted a guy for stabbing a dude because he said the N-word.
Yep, I remember. I was there.
Like,
I saw that. It's crazy.
it's that was my stream yesterday. I basically half of it was talking about can words be met with violence, and ultimately it's a hard no. People's words cannot be met with violence. And the line there is calls to action. The calls to action against you, calls to action against other people. That's when the line is drawn, and you can move to stop them.
Yeah, it's not like he said, "Let's get that bligger." You know, he said,
yeah,
just call
he
me,
probably got stabbed,
you know.
and he's like, oh, effing, N-word.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Oh, God, gee golly gosh. Oh, man. Gee Willikers, Batman. Anyway.
You and you triggers.
Damn, my ninja. Anyway.
Damn, my video ninja.
My video ninja. So the homeowner, Roshan Douglas, did not know if her that her life would be turned upside down after accepting Ramiro's request for an Airbnb reservation 10 months ago. Dude, 10 months. They let this woman stay in her house 10 months, and they refused to kick her out.
We can't do anything. I'm sorry, ma'am. We don't want to get whiplash through the media.
Didn't people used to get evicted for not paying rent?
Mm-hmm.
So like,
shit, what am I paying? What am I doing?
Yeah,
I could just do this.
You just be a squatter? Yeah, dude, man.
At least I technically am on the apartment.
What we got to start doing is we got to start finding politicians and renting out their houses through Airbnb and then squatting.
Oh, no. That'll never happen. You know, there's different sets of rules when it comes to politics.
Oh, yeah. Those people would be removed immediately.
Yeah, you could be a rioter and burn down your whole neighborhood, but God forbid you get ushered in by police into the Capitol. You can't put those politicians' lives in danger. Just put your own life in danger. That's okay.
Yep. They're better men, Joey. Better men.
Oh God, Misa.
Oh my God. I disagree. Words may beget violence, but not necessarily the level of deadly force. A lot of our societal issues could be resolved if people were afraid of getting punched in the face. I just disagree, Tactical Tinker. I think if people were able to handle words a lot better, that'd be a lot better for society. And
there's also
all it takes is one punch to kill somebody. So
one of the first debates that Tyler and Nora got into, I remember very crystal clear, was how you should meet force. And there's always that gentleman's agreement of hands in hands, but like you never know what's going to happen. You never know what could potentially happen. So people might start punching, and then their homeboys might come from behind you and hit you in the head with a cinder block, and well, that's it. You won't wake up anymore.
Or you get into a fight and the other person starts winning, and then they just don't stop.
Yeah, and then you're like, damn it, the only way I can stop him is if I shoot him. And it's like, well, maybe you should have just taken your words better.
Yeah, so like while I understand Tactical Tinker, like there's some things that people could say that would make you want to punch them in the face, but you don't have the right to do that. They have the right to say that under the Constitution. You don't have a right to swing on them for it.
I get what he's saying in the sense that like some people, like, what's the saying? Some people need to get their ass beat. It's like a metaphoric thing of like some people are just way out of line and they could really benefit from getting their ass beat. But there's also like, what do they say? To stop a bully, you got to stand up to a bully. But if a bully is just using words or whatever, it's like ignore them. But if the bully starts stealing your lunch money, now it's a different story.
Shitty Gov says, I agree, but there are also ways to punch faces without getting caught. Well, then that's just called a sucker punch, Shitty Gov. And then you're just a bitch yourself. So I don't know what to tell you.
He's like, I'm not a bitch. I'm just whiskey.
Okay. So let's see. So the reservation ended on March 29th for this woman, but Ramiro has yet to leave, claiming tenants' rights. After being in the home for over 30 days, Ramiro claimed residency and refused to allow Douglas to enter the property, according to ABC 7 News. Dude, I don't know what I would do if some person did this to me.
I know what I would do.
I mean, you probably can't say it on YouTube, but but you know what I mean? Like, legally, what do you do in this situation? Because the woman literally is refusing to allow you to enter your own property. You were kicked out of your own home, and now they're refusing to let you in. I mean, we know of a story recently of someone who lost their house, and the way they went about it was a little insane. So,
Yeah.
things
People
like
do
this.
insane things. And when
If,
the local government won't do their fucking duty, this is what the people will go to insane lengths. So I don't want to hear nothing about the person who went to the insane lengths. It could be stopped if the local government actually did what they were supposed to do, and the local
Absolutely.
police force.
Absolutely. Here, let's watch this video. Libs of TikTok shared this video.
New
Oh
at
wait, you
6.
can't hear it. Hang on, Joey can't hear it. One momento. See, this one. Okay. I don't know if you might hear yourself, Joey. So I apologize.
Only on 7
You.
News. We are now hearing from the woman accused of taking over an Airbnb in Northeast DC. The homeowner reached out to 7 on Your Side for help after that woman refused to leave. Our Washington, D.C. reporter Felicia Ashley is now live outside the home. Felicia, you have a lot of updates on this case.
Bye, Felicia.
A lot, and it all happened as we were out here working on
Wow,
the
she
story.
did not
First,
sound
you
how I
can see
thought
the
she
homeowner
would.
was able to board up the home, but the guest was able to get back in.
Code
She works in news. She has to
was
sound a
able
certain way.
Speak with the person the homeowner is accusing of squatting in her home. She stopped us as we were outside doing the story and invited us in.
The police.
That's insane. You see a bunch of newscasters, and you're sitting in a house that you stole from somebody, and you're like, yeah, come on in, but you won't let the owner in.
Her to hire a locksmith and break in. She gave them no documents. She gave them no court orders. She gave them no lease. She just came and said, I'm locked out. This is taking me somewhere where I'm.
Yeah, how do you feel about that, Joey? She's just said that she actually changed the locks, and the squatter called a locksmith, and the locksmith just let her in.
We don't live in a serious society. Everyone wants to follow these rules that the government and the local government sets, and I'm just like, why? What's even the point? What's even the point, really?
I always
Why
make
do we
that
even
joke
pay
when I'm
rent?
driving around, like, oh, make sure you follow the government's arbitrary lines.
Yeah. I'm. You know what? I'm sure these. I've said this before. You know, everything the government does is at the sake of their own convenience because we're little, plebes, and they can't be bothered with our petty problems. I think most laws have been invented because there was two parties that had an issue, and they're like, we must have some sort of resolution and apply it the same to every other problem that might be somewhat similar. And that's where most traffic laws probably come in from.
Miss for Missy said 1 like equals 1 free stay in someone's house.
I'm just gonna wait till Missy goes on vacation, and I'm gonna go jump through her window and just stay there and be like, sorry,
Squatters' rights.
squatters' rights. You can squat on me. Anyway, moving on.
So if I prove that I hid in someone's attic for 30 days,
Yeah, right.
do I get squatters' rights?
You'd be like, you're living in your mom's basement. It's my basement now.
I own the basement now. You get
I am the
everything ground
basement.
level.
I am the basement.
All right,
You know, Tactical Tinkerer is correct though. The society and this is why I always say that we have been already taken over by the Marxists. This is how Marxist societies work. The rules only apply to those who follow the rules. The people who don't follow the rules are the unofficial police force for the Marxist takeover. That's how it works. That's why they don't do anything towards the people who are rule breakers.
I mean, what kind of communist bullshit is this? I mean, literally, you steal someone's home and you get to keep it just because you were there.
Yeah, landlord's bad.
Landlord's bad. Yeah, how dare you own land?
How dare you make profit off of your owned home? How dare you?
I think you should do a show about that on Outworld or something, Joey. Talk about how important land ownership is and all the things that they're trying to do to take it from us. Because you have places like BlackRock trying to buy up all these properties, and you have situations like this where they're literally removing ownership from landlords.
Private equity buying land for the purposes of making a bigger profit should be illegal. Mm-hmm. And I know some people are going to say, oh, that's commie gobbledygook. It's like, I don't think so. I mean, how's it commie gobbledygook? If there's one thing that the federal government, see, this is where the line of what should the federal government do versus what I think they're going to do comes in. If there's something the federal government should do, it's protecting the citizens' rights against harmful encroachers, and big mega corporations are harmful encroachers to most people's rights.
Yeah, and it's just insane because when you think about it, when you think about non-renewable resources, land is non-renewable. So like it's incredibly important that once you own land that you get to keep it. And that's why you and I are vehemently against things like property tax. That's exactly how they remove generational wealth from people, is when your family member dies and then the property gets passed on to you. Not only is there a bunch of taxes involved in that, but then you also have to continue to pay the property tax. And a lot of people, depending on the property, just can't afford it. So then they end up reselling the property, and then it goes to BlackRock and these other companies.
That's just like the mafia. It's like we got protection on your store, but you got to pay you got to pay us kickback every month.
Yep.
It's like, that's what it is. So I was like, the government, over time, they've learned so many wise lessons from the mafia and
cartels and other criminal organizations. We've
learned
a lot from communists.
It's almost like when you watch these old television shows about the mafia and they paint the mafia as the bad guys. It's actually, they're competing with the government. The government is the big kingpin in town, and the mafias are just trying to find their little pockets in which they could take advantage of, because the government has a vice grip on everything.
Exactly.
This is, when you really think about, this is another thing to do a show, and I got to start writing things down. I need a secretary. But when you think about like the whole dichotomy of the Pinkertons and the Old West, people are like, oh, well, the cowboys just wanted to have their wild, wild west. Everyone always uses the wild, wild west when they want to describe total chaos and anarchy. Oh, they want to have the wild, wild west. No, it was more so about the government is now encroaching on, somebody's territory, essentially. And they're starting to take it all over because the government can't stand to have a pocket of something where somebody is actually benefiting on their own. They need to have that slice, and they will use the fact that, well, we are the federal government. This is all of our land. Since we're the federal government, we have the right to your land. It's like, no, you don't have the right to our land. You have the right to make sure the citizens' rights are protected, not to be the thing that encroaches on the citizens' rights.
Yeah, but they get I mean, the government literally has a monopoly on power. So, and
that's ironic, isn't it?
It is. I thought we were anti-monopoly here in this country, but evidently we're not. I mean, you just look at all.
We have to force the government to split.
We do. Force them to split back into 3 branches.
Yeah. No. Don't you know Congress can just absolve themselves of responsibility?
It's still insane to me. I mean, I just remember having that conversation with Jeff.
Why do we elect them?
Well, even Jeff was like, well, they passed these laws that allow the delegation of power. And then even he was baffled because I was countering his claim. And he looked it up, and I think he used Grok. But Grok outright said that it says in the Constitution that the Congress has the exclusive power. It specifically says exclusive power to do these things. And then I was like, whoa, just stop reading there. Like, you don't have to read any further because everything after that is unconstitutional. And he like tried to read on a little bit, and then he thought about it, and then he's like, actually, yeah, you're right. It is unconstitutional.
If you have, if Tyler has the exclusive rights to Joey Cannoli, and I show up on the Quiet Part Pod, what does that mean? He doesn't have exclusive rights.
I don't.
It's phony baloney. Like, he can't then go, listen, I'm going to sublease my contract for you to go in the Quiet Part. It's like, no. Do you know what exclusive means?
Well, and then it gets worse there, Joey. And then you just stop appearing here and only appear over there. But I continue to say I have exclusive rights.
Yeah, right.
Like that's how our government's going right now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's insane. It's nuts. Like, people really don't understand how nuts it is. We have whether it was first minting of currency that they've outright outsourced to private banks, private companies, which we don't vote for. So now we're like the European Union. And then they decide that we could just give the right to the federal government to go to war whenever they want. It's like, you talk about breaking the Constitution. I got to hear this bullshit from the Republicans or even the Democrats about my Constitution. It's like, get out of here, bro. You guys routinely break this all the time, and I'm supposed to like feel pressured to vote for Republicans now because we don't want the communists to win. Well, I'm sorry. This fucking homeowner can't get her goddamn home back because of squatters' rights, and the cops won't do anything about it.
And then this is in D.C. where the
really
National Guard
communism. Yeah, we've really stopped communism, huh?
Donald Trump just isn't going far enough. Like, this is something that you and I have long
fake news.
He's just not going far enough. And then look at
Tyler is a rhino.
Look at what he's doing to Marjorie Taylor Greene. Even Marjorie Taylor Greene, like she's kind of responding. I saw a response from her today, and she just said that it's really sad to see like Trump has to like go resort to name calling all this stuff to get his way.
God, he made poop joke about her the other day. A poop joke.
Yeah,
Green
she's Marjorie Major Brown or something now.
Trader Brown.
Trader Brown. Sorry, Marjorie. Oh yeah, I can't say Major. That's too complimentary.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. So now what is it that they say? She's the enemy. Marjorie Taylor Greene's the enemy because she didn't fall.
She's a rhino. Yeah, she's a rhino now.
What even is a rhino anymore?
A rhino is supposed to be neocons that are basically left-wingers masquerading as right-wingers, military-industrial complex types. But apparently it's people who want freedom now.
Yeah.
Do you see that, though? Do you see that? I want people to realize that. That's very important. I don't know if you have the ability to replay buffer, but I want you to do it when I'm done here. Do you see what Donald Trump's doing when he takes the word rhino and he starts to make it mean Thomas Massie, Rand Paul, Marjorie Taylor Greene? Is that not like what leftists do when they change definitions of words? Is that not what they do? They will literally take a word that is meant for something else and then apply it to something else as a way to manipulate people. That's exactly what he's doing
its
when he
meaning
calls
or to alter the meaning of it. Yeah.
So now these people who have their head up, and see, hey, listen, South Park might be on the button with these with their shit retroactively, but brown nosing Donald Trump, all these people brown nosing him. All these people are now in the next 20 to 30 years going to be remembering about those damn rhinos, Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene. And it's just like what the left has done with the calling everybody racist. It doesn't mean what it used to mean. Fascism doesn't mean what it used to mean. Dictionary.com changed the definition of fascism to be something about racism. It's like, no, it was the merger of company, a corporation, and government. It has nothing to do with racism.
Which is something that actively has been happening.
Yeah, so you see, that's what he's doing. He's changing the definition of words to mean what he wants. He can't control the narrative, so he's going to control the language.
Yeah, no, and I just you and I both thought that this was going to go in a different direction when he got elected, and we're not seeing it. And there's so many people that are. And I'm sorry, guys, but I have to call it cope. But there's people that reply to me on Twitter that are like, no, just wait till next year when the funding for ICE goes into effect. And it's like,
oh, yes.
Yeah, with the funding for ICE goes into effect, I can't wait. It's going to be great because then we'll have even more stories of people getting their rights infringed because ICE doesn't know how to properly go through these places.
Yeah, and then they'll have things like Mad Storks brought up where they go after the fucking easiest common denominator because that's what they do. That's what authority does. They don't want to meet resistance. They want to meet the least common resistance that they can get. They're not going to go after the goddamn groups of 40, 50 gang members huddle up in a fucking one-bedroom apartment. They're going to go after the poor, the workers. They're not. Listen, everyone, obviously we want all the illegals out, but there has to be some sort of priority. The ones that are actually causing the most trouble are the violent gang members. I understand that the others are siphoning from the system via welfare fraud, but guess what? It's also causing us more fraud, the Federal Reserve. So that's not really the forefront in my mind. The forefront of my mind is getting the sex traffickers, the sexual assaulters, the rapers, the murderers. All those people need to go, but those are the hardest ones to get out.
Yeah, they're the hardest ones to get out. And it's funny because like you said, depending on who you are in government, you can get away with more. And I thought about covering this story, but Caroline Leavitt, whatever.
Yeah.
So someone in her family, it's her nephew's mother is an illegal immigrant who got picked up by ICE, and she was released.
Oh.
She was released back into the country.
How sweet.
Yeah. And again, rules for thee, not for me.
So I ask you again, we might have slightly more breadcrumbs, but how is the behavior any different than what we get with the left?
Unfortunate.
Joe Biden might say, "Here's a piece of cheese," and Donald Trump might go, "Well, here's a cheap steak." Thanks.
Yeah,
I guess I should be satisfied with the cheap steak. It's
marginally better. It's noticeably better, but like it's still not where we need to be.
Yeah, Donald, you promised me fucking a nice steakhouse steak, not a fucking cheap steak that I have to
I just wish our government knew dating etiquette, man. I mean, at least take me out to dinner before you fuck me. Damn, dude.
Yeah, seriously, bro. At least at least love bomb me, please. They're not even love bombing us.
They love sprinkling.
Like, you know what? You know, I've already accepted the fact that like it's there's no winning. We have to find the balance. We have to, like, instead of making the pendulum go like this, we have to make it go like this. You know, because it's never going to stop in the center. It's never going to do that shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, listen, if they continue to skim from the top and fucked us in certain areas, but they are like, all right, here's 30% of what we were normally taking from you, we're going to give back. I'd be like, all right, now we're negotiating. But it's not even negotiation. It's like we're trapped. We've been kidnapped. We're all trapped underground. And Donald Trump busts through and he grabs the bars and he's like, I'm going to get you guys out of here. And then we got all this hope. And then later, Donald Trump comes down as the overseer and he goes, I'll get you guys out at some point, but first, I'm going to need you to build a statue of me. And when you're done building that statue, you got to go back in here. But trust me, I'm going to get you guys out at some point. And he's just keeping people. He's just hoping. He's hoping. And listen, if me and Tyler are wrong, well, there goes our career. But listen, I don't think I'm wrong. I think I'm going to be proven right. Because he's got a year left before they get blown out in the midterms, despite the fact that they're going to do districting change in Texas and in Indiana and probably in other places too. They're probably going to still get blown out. Could you imagine how badly they'd get blown out if they didn't do the redistricting? Oh.
And then you have, and I know Bush is saying it ironically, but you have a bunch of people on the right that are just coping. And don't get me wrong, I like Tate Brown from Timcast. I actually think he's pretty cool. But he's one of those people that it's like, just trust the process. And it's like, yeah, I'd love to, but what's the fucking process?
But here's the problem. Isn't he like 22 or 23?
I think, yeah, he's no, I think he's 24.
He's a little bit younger than you, I think.
He might be like a year younger or something.
So like the issue is like, and he was what, high school when Donald Trump's first term came, like, and that's not to say like his experience is wrong or anything, because obviously Tyler has that shit fresh in his mind too. But like, even with certain things, I've brought up certain things about the Bush administration or Clinton administration, and it's a blind spot because you just can't always know everything if you haven't experienced it over time. So like, he doesn't understand how Donald Trump's first term was decent, but he really missed the mark on his hiring, man. He Rex Tillerson was his Secretary of State at first. He was a big oil executive. I mean, and then he hired Bolton, and then he had Mad Dog Mattis. Like, he just kept missing the mark over and over. His heart was in the right place, but it was disappointing. And now come the second time around, he is promising the fucking sun, moon, and earth and all of its stars and Saturn's moons and Jupiter's moons.
And we're getting grains of sand.
He says we're going to make Pluto a planet again. And then when he gets in office, and it's just like he's telling us that we're wrong, or that he never promised this, or that this it's like his behavior is not that of someone who is actually going to follow through on his promises. There's no way his reaction to the Epstein stuff, whether he's in it or not, is irrelevant to me. Whether he's protecting somebody, which is probably what it is, he's probably protecting the actual rhinos. His response to all this stuff by telling us that we are Democrats or we are rhinos for caring about this stuff, it makes no sense, and it reeks of someone who's compromised.
I completely agree. And
It's
you know,
sad.
we're
It's
supposed
really
to get
sad.
we're supposed to get more Epstein stuff, but I don't know. Hopefully we
It'll all
get that
be
stuff before I
redacted.
die. You know, like that one senator said. Are we gonna get it before I die?
But you know, another aspect that you have to consider when it comes to Tate, and is you know, he has to sell hope as well. He has to sell hope, because when it comes to right-wing people, they don't get sold. I mean, at least long-term, they don't get sold on fear the same way that the left does. That's the one difference. Is you need to have some sort of hope for the
Fuck,
right.
are you saying
or
I'm
they're
doing
just,
the wrong grift, Joey? God damn it.
no, like you have to have some level of. You have to have, if you're going to have 9 black pills, you have to have 1 white pill. You have to keep the right-wing person hopeful, or else they're just going to retreat to their farm and not give a crap. Whereas the left-wing people, they feed off of the constant fear, because they, you know, their fear thing is like the world is ending. So that's an easy way to keep somebody in that. I have to pay attention to politics. I don't want the world to end. I have to pay attention to politics. I don't want the life as I know it to end. It's more like a selfish response. You know what I mean? I need my life to keep going. I need everything to stay the same. I don't want it to end. Whereas the people on the right are more like, well, if there's no hope, I'm just going to do me and stead my farm and have 17 children and hope for the best in the future. So that's why you always got to sprinkle some hope in there. You got to keep them coming back. You got to keep them addicted to the heroin. You got to keep them addicted to the needle.
I gotta crush your hopes and dreams right now, though, Joey, because we're gonna listen to this woman talk about how she stole this house.
I'm not trying to be. I'm trying to stay on the right. But for somebody to just take and do, everybody has a breaking point.
I went back to the property today and saw Child Services show up because Shadija brought her daughter into the home while there was no power or electricity inside. Police also showed up because the homeowner's truck went missing after Shadija got back in the house.
Wait, so she stole this lady's truck too?
What the fuck?
Did I hear that right? She said that the homeowner's truck is missing and that the water and power are off, so Child Services had to come because her daughter is also staying in the home now. At what point do the cops say that this woman needs to get the fuck out?
Bush says federal judge approved Justice Department's request to unseal Maxwell's sex trafficking
I did
case.
see that, and I believe a judge from Florida was also ruled to unseal that. So hopefully we'll get some movement in that area, but time will only tell.
They will still retract names, even if they will absolutely use the national security thing, which should tell you all you need to know.
Republic Boss brings up an excellent point. Didn't you know that renting is also white supremacy? I forgot. I apologize.
Right.
Let me apologize for my ancestry.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we'll all be sleeping in sleeping bags then.
Oh yeah. Well, let's see how this woman lives.
Door open to get a package. I saw what appears to be a candles and essential oils business inside.
This is unbelievable.
That led to a virtual emergency hearing today. In court, it was revealed that Shadija tried to push Roshane off a ladder, took the utilities out of the homeowner's name and put it in her daughter's name, tampered with cameras, requested that Roshane pay her back for the food lost when the power was turned off. Oh, and she asked the judge if she could question Roshane as a hostile witness. I was with Roshane as she attended the hearing from her car outside the home.
And the sad part is, I feel sorry for her. I really do. But your problem is, I can't help you. But I do truly feel sorry for her and her child and all of this. And I have a big heart, and this is the outcome of me having a big heart. But I really hope somebody can help her. But
who fucking gives a shit? Fuck her.
Yeah, I've never understood this where it's like, oh, I forgive the person fucking me over.
No, fuck that shit. People gotta stop being such bitches, man. I swear.
Yeah, that's not having a big heart. That's being a fucking pussy.
Yeah, no, that's being a naive. Maybe, you know what? She deserves to be taken advantage of. Next story.
I mean, look, I honestly, that is kind of where I'm leaning towards now, because it's like, literally, if you're just like, oh, I feel bad for her, you know, giving excuses to the behavior. Okay, well then the behavior is excused.
It's like with my friend who was a drug addict, and then once I found that he was stealing from me, I kicked him out. Like, that's it.
Yeah, that.
I feel bad for him. He's a drug addict. That's tough. I'm gonna keep your cat. Get out of here.
Right. Is that what happened, Joey?
Yeah, that's what happened.
Shit.
I said the cat can stay. You get the fuck out. That's what I should have did at the first, but I didn't know he's addicted to drugs.
Well, but this woman knows that the woman staying in her house has stolen her house.
10 months.
Yeah, 10 months. Suicidal empathy. Spot on, Bush. Suicidal empathy. I had to explain this to my girlfriend, what was it, a couple weeks ago, because I was like, do you know what suicidal empathy is? And I told her, I was like, it's where you feel bad for someone to the point where you hurt yourself. That's essentially what it is. A lot of people have it nowadays, where you feel so sorry for someone else and their situation that you allow that person to fuck up your situation. And it's exactly, the name is perfect. Suicidal empathy. You cannot have empathy to the point where it hurts you. Let's see the rest of this. I want to. Where's the interview for the lady inside? I'm done hearing the homeowner. Homeowner sounds dumb.
Like this, and there's no recourse for me.
Just moments ago, as we were working on this live shot and this report, Shadija came up to our car and said that we could finally speak to her. This is what she had to say, or part of what she had to say during our 15-minute conversation.
Oh, you're not going to release the full 15 minutes? Fuck cowards.
She said that we didn't have a lease, which we do not have a.
If Velma was black, that's what she'd look like.
Wait. Here, wait. Listen to what she just said.
Have a lease, which we do not have a lease in place, but we did have an agreement for me to stay at the property beyond.
These weasel words. You hear that? She said that we don't have a lease, which we don't have a lease, but we had an agreement for me to stay at the property. Yeah, it's called Airbnb.
If I was playing L.A. Noire, I'd be hitting doubt right now.
Press X to doubt. No, but she's playing politics. This is like political.
Yeah, but look at all
right now.
Look at the over-exaggerated face.
Yeah, she's like, like I just don't even want to be in this situation. I just want the free house.
We had a agreement. Fucking ridiculous.
Beyond the initial Airbnb time frame. So she's been back to the property almost every day. They installed signs.
That's it? That's all you're going to show from her interview?
Watch the rest. Go to the website, subscribe, like, and follow.
Right. What is this? Anyway, we can move on. This is just ridiculous. And the woman staying in her house, she has she should have no ability to stay there. They should just remove. It should be as simple as, okay, do you live here? Yes. Okay. Do you pay property tax? Do you pay rent? Do you have where does it say that you're allowed to stay here? It should be that simple. But the cops just show up, locksmith shows up. I mean, the locksmith one is insane to me, because locksmiths are supposed to ensure that the person that they're letting into the house actually stays there. So a locksmith just breaks into someone's house for you, and then you're like, okay, it's my house now. Asian Andy went and squatted on a squatter and filmed it for a week with the homeowner's permission, played loud music constantly, flooded out her bedroom, beat on the bedroom door. See, that's hilarious. Can we get more of that? Until the woman left because she couldn't take it. See, that's hilarious. That's what we should encourage, Joey. For squatters like this, you just need to go and squat with them, and then just be obnoxious to the point where they leave.
We should literally just squat and put the fist in the air like this.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Join the commies?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm gonna go and find a nice estate that I know nobody's in right now, and just break in and just set up my stream in there and be like, listen, bro, I've been here for 2 weeks. Been
here for, yeah, see, and then that's the other thing too, is you can just lie about how long you've been there.
Yeah, I've been here for like 4 weeks, bro.
Bro, I've been here for like 2 months, bro. You haven't noticed?
That's a level of petty that would make 50 Cent proud. Oh god, that thing where 50 Cent did an interview and he did it on, what was it, ABC, because he knew that's what was shown in prison, so Diddy could see it. I love it.
That's insane.
I love it. I love 50. That's another reason. See, I'm adding this to the list as to why 50 Cent's better than Eminem.
Oh yeah. I like what Rebel No Yell said. Rebel No Yell said, eat lots of beans and constantly fart. That'll scare away the squatter.
Especially if you're squatting.
Yeah, especially if you're squatting. You might have to fart when you're squatting anyway. We'll move on.
Prepare for liftoff. Boop.